up this session because I know that several MFRCs are familiar with this, but many more are not aware of the fact that you can get the DND 404 license via us at Military Family Services, or at least take the course via us, which is a major part of getting the military driver's license. And also that we have a new tool for introducing staff and families to the military lifestyle. So this is just a quick overview of how to do that. We'll move on to the next slide there. So what exactly is the DND 404? Basically, it's a military driver's license that you need to operate any of the base or wing vehicles. The course that we feature on our learning platform can give you access to your DND 404. The course itself is called the CAS Safe Driving Certificate. We'll just point to that there in the slide. So it's just a mandatory prerequisite. But why would you even want to do this? Basically, a lot of the MFRCs who have taken this course want to use some of the base wing vehicles to shuttle volunteers to events like family days. Sometimes they want to pick up families or volunteers for MFRC workshops. And some of them just want to be able to transport fairly large amounts of equipment without using their personal vehicles, sometimes across the base and wing. So several years ago, the way that this came about is that MFS, before my time I think, MFS was able to get the MFRC staff put in the actual Canadian Armed Forces Transportation Manual as authorized drivers of the base wing vehicles. But one of the mandatory parts of being able to operate the vehicles is having a DND 404 license. So you can see down at the bottom here, I've provided a little quote from the Transportation Manual, and also I'll send around this presentation afterwards so that you can click on that link. That link down there, the CAF Transportation Manual, Section 15, takes you directly to the Transportation Manual, just in case your chain of command isn't aware of the fact that MFRCs are particularly listed under that as a authorized driver. Okay. So how would you go about doing that? Basically, you take the mandatory course, which is the CAS Safe Driving course on our online learning platform. So the way that I suggest you go about it is, first of all, speak to your executive director about it, just in case there are some local realities that we're not aware of or that you weren't aware of that you need to take into account before approaching the transportation with your safe driving course certificate. Then once you get the green light from the executive director, just email me at the email on there, my CFMWS email, and I'll ask you to sign a student agreement. It's just a one-pager that basically says that, no, you don't have access to the Defense Learning Network, the DLN, those kinds of things. Then you just complete the course. I send you the certificate, and you take that to your local transport contact. I'll give that to you as well and let you know who your local contact is. And then you get your DND 404. So we actually have 25 MFRC staff so far who've already used the learning platform to take the course and are using their DND 404 to get to access base wing vehicles for the purposes mostly of shuttling volunteers back and forth. Are there any questions on the DND 404 before I move on to the military family experience? Feel free to write them in the chat as well. Okay, I don't see any questions. Okay, so we'll just move on to the military family experience. And this is just one slide. I wanted to kind of encompass it in one slide so that it's easy for you guys to pass along as an image if you think that any families might be interested in this, especially new families, parents of single members who might be not familiar with the military family lifestyle. So what is this course? It's basically a 40-minute course, like it says on the left-hand side, that discusses the characteristics of the military community, what is the military lifestyle, and some of the programs and services that support families. So why would you want to take this course? really a lot of MFRCs have found that orienting their staff to the MFRC. A number of PSP, actually several hundred, personnel support program staff have also taken it just for their own awareness of what kind of programs exist out there. And sometimes, for instance, Family Information Line, all of their staff have taken the course as well, because that way we can walk families who are new to the military lifestyle kind of through the course and explain to them the different aspects of the military family lifestyle. We're finding a lot more that a lot of single members and younger members, their family and friends are calling in to the line, and they aren't really familiar with the military lifestyle, so this is a useful tool for them, because it only takes 40 minutes and kind of gives them the basic overview rather than sort of muddling their way through a variety of websites. All you need to do to get access to it is just send me an email, like I said at the bottom right there. Send me an email to my CFMWS account, and then I'll just ask for your name and email, and I can sign you up for the course. Okay, so that's about all I had. Okay. Can you guys hear me on the teleconference?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So do you guys on the WebEx or on the teleconference have any questions about the DND 404, the military family experience? Okay. Looks like I've got a hand up there. I'll unmute your mic. And Hila?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Yeah, I just want to know, how long does the driving course, the online course, how long does that take?
It varies from person to person. I've seen some people, it has 10 modules to it. I've seen some people complete each module in about 10 or 15 minutes. Other people take much longer, I think, because they get interrupted partway through the course. So in general, I would say it probably takes maybe an hour and a bit for most people to get through it. It just depends on, I think, how much dedicated time you have to it. So some people just access it, you know, first thing in the morning when they aren't likely to be disturbed, or over their lunch hour and they put a sign up, or from home where they're possibly less likely to be disturbed.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I'll just check the chat here. So Audrey, you said no need of D1. Of the D1, right. So no, you don't, in order to access the e-university, really it doesn't work as well on the D1. I've seen it work before, but I've seen it not work, as with a lot of things on the D1. So it's always better to try to access it if you can from a non-D1 computer. But if you are using a D1, I have a few tip sheets that might help you to be able to access it, if there's no way around using the D1 at your location. Okay, I'm just making sure that everybody should be able to hear, and I'll check the chat again. Are there any other questions about the Military Family Experience course, about the DND 404, anything like that?
Hi, Jonathan. It's Angela again.
Hi there.
Hi. With the military family experience, so if we did have clients that wanted to, again, would that email to you with their name and address?
Yeah, exactly. And some people, just to let you know, a lot of people who call Family Information Line, they want to remain anonymous, which is totally their right. And so they can just make up a name if they want and provide their email, or an email that I can send it to and have them registered. So if that's a roadblock along the way, then feel free to suggest that to them.
That's awesome. I should send you an email and I should try it out, and then I can confidently then find both people do it.
Exactly, yeah. Sometimes in the past with these kinds of tools like the caregiver resource and that kind of thing, a lot of the flows and other MFRC staff have told me that sometimes it's most useful to, when you have them in the office, to kind of walk them through part of it, because that way they see that, you know what, it's pretty easy and you can just pick and choose what you want to look through and that sort of thing. So some of them find it a useful tool to actually use right in their office with the client.
Is there a time limit for it? Once somebody signed up, or can they go back to as many times they like?
No, they can go back and forth as many times as they like.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just check the chat down here, make sure I'm not missing anyone. Any other questions from folks on the WebEx or on the teleconference? Keep in mind, if I can't hear you on the teleconference, that sometimes the line is muted, so you can press *7 to unmute your line if you're on the teleconference. Okay. Well, it looks like, just double check and make sure. Okay, it doesn't look like there are any questions in the chat, so I don't believe in just taking up time for the sake of taking up time, but do contact me if you have any questions at all about this. I'm happy to chat over the phone or via email and walk you through the course if you think that would be useful as well. So feel free to just contact me about this. This video will also be up on the website, the Web Exchange website, in a few days. And I'll send around the presentation just so that you have access to some of the hyperlinks inside there. So thanks very much for everyone for joining us today, and have a great rest of the afternoon.